who's at home, and welcome to the THPPY podcast, which is a technology-based HIV prevention program for you, young people. Now, my name is Lirata Mabilisa, aka the Queen of Love, and I'm not alone. I am with a medical practitioner, which is Nurse Muzi Masilela. Put some respect on his name. Now we're going to ask him a few questions, and he's just going to give us an insight on what he thinks and how we can become a better HIV prevented youth. Welcome, Mr. Masilela, to the podcast. We're super excited to have you, and we just have questions that we'd like you to answer as young people.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lelato, for having me. I'm very much excited to be here.
Okay, now let's get right into it. The first question is, why do you think there is a low condom usage with young people, and how may we fix it?
Okay, although it's a very broad question, but I think there is a very low condom use among the youth. We can talk about it. 2 or 3 things: misinformation or malinformation or disinformation, or rather culture. Okay, information, it's a very minimal. Okay, the information that is disseminated to the public, or rather the youth, is very low, and you find ukuthi ayibareach labanye bantu lebatargetile. Which makes other people not to have insight or knowledge of condom usage. If I'm not using it, and when to use it, and or how to use it correctly. And culturally, I can say, as Swazis, in a culture, I don't eat sweet plastic, you know. So we tend to grow up with those things. So a culture is influenced no sweet now plastic, or you can't even take it a plastic. So culturally, we still embedded on those beliefs.
That's very interesting, and I think, you know, we need to take it upon ourselves to find the information as young people, because everything's on our phones. It's
Yes, that is called health literacy. Health literacy is just being responsible, and what it's okay. I need to know everything on myself. If I need to research, if I need to go to a health expert in your Buddha, it's on me.
Especially if you know you're sexually active, you need to do the right thing. We've had a lot of theories, from men and women regarding circumcision. As a health worker, what would you say the benefits are of circumcision?
Okay, circumcision. Okay, talking about theories, conspiracy theories, they've been there, and still they are there. They take my foreskin, the penis of the foreskin, and the spicy. So, and still today, but healthcare workers have tried to work on that. Circumcision, which is voluntary medical male circumcision, it helps to lower the risk of getting infected in HIV by 60%. By 60%, there's a study that has been conducted in the European countries whereby 27 million of participants were used, and half of those to the people which showed that they are prevented during when there is circumcision as a male. So it is effective, 60%. So it's share of 40%. Because it's during sexual intercourse. During sexual friction, so that is where viruses and bacteria can invade your body.
No, I think this is a very interesting conversation, Mr. Masilela, and I'm sure you're hooked there at home, but do not go anywhere. Grab a snack, because we'll be back right after this. Welcome back. I hope you have your snack, your tea, or your coffee. We are still tuned in with Mr. Masilela, having interesting conversations about HIV and AIDS prevention. Mr. Masilela, people often make the mistake of thinking that when you drink PrEP, you shouldn't use a condom. Now, from a health practitioner point of view, please tell us. People often make the mistake of thinking when you use PrEP, you should not use a condom. From a health practitioner point of view, please tell us why it's important to use the condom even though you're using PrEP.
Okay, I think that also something that we need to stress would say if you have taken or if you are taking pre-exposure prophylaxis, because that's PrEP, they usually say you should use, we should use a dual protection. A dual protection, we mean that you use the condom. So PrEP prevents the person who has taken the PrEP correctly when he or she wants to do sex from getting infected with HIV. And a condom will now be needed because there are other infections that you haven't prevented by using the PrEP. We are talking about sexually transmitted infections or infections transmitted sexually. The people usually say it's good when you say infections transmitted sexually rather than saying STIs. Okay, yeah. PrEP will prevent you from getting infected, and the condom will prevent unwanted pregnancies, and it will also prevent you from conducting the sexually transmitted infections.
Oh, okay.
So that's called the dual protection. Yes.
I'm actually very intrigued by this because I did not know that some people want it to be addressed as that. I thought it was just, okay, an STI.
It sounds like it's stigma and discrimination to say, hey, you've got an STI.
You have a sexually transmitted infection.
Yes.
Okay. Now, speaking of sexually transmitted infections, STIs can often become very dangerous, and if left untreated, I think that could literally be hectic. So what would your advice be to some of the young people who are watching? Both those who might have encountered an experience where they were exposed to it, and those who are still safe and haven't gotten...
Okay, I'll say my complications, they occur in all diseases that are left untreated. But with sexually transmitted infections, it is very crucial to know when we are talking about sexual reproductive health, we are talking about a very delicate topic, and even our organs are delicate in that manner. So if ESTI is left untreated, it can complicate to more sterility and infertility, and even it can cause death, because we are talking about a bacteria that then replicates itself and it becomes a medication now, so it can even lead to death of that person. So I would say if you have got anything abnormal sexual organ yakho noma any private part lonayo, you should seek medical advice or medical help, knowing or not knowing, or ube exposed noma ungasi exposed. Because for me, during practice, as I practice as a nurse, I've realized that 90% of sexual or infections that are in the reproductive system, they are caused by the sexual or the sex, and 10% they come from any other causes. Some people are born with it. Where, for example, syphilis, you can be born with syphilis from the mother if it was not treated by the mother during a pregnancy. So I'd say you need to see a doctor, you need to see a nurse or any healthcare practitioner, because some of them, they are very much difficult to diagnose by observation. They need a laboratory testing. Yes, just to see a health practitioner and know we are trained. We cannot talk about it to any other person. We are trained to practice what we call professionalism and confidentiality. So I'll assure everyone ukuthi ngeke sikhulume ngako tindzaba takho, so you should give us all information about ukuthi ucabanga ukuthi uyithole njani kwendekeni, ungasifihleli, so that we also know ukuthi lo munye yena akasisangoma ukuthi so we need to talk. It's just talking. Yes.
No, I think if we were to conversate, we'd conversate for the entire day.
The entire
because
day.
It's a very interesting conversation, and I think there are many young people who are relating out there. But as heavy as this topic is, we will be back right after this. Welcome back, dear friends. Now we are unfortunately about to end the conversation, but I'm so grateful for the insight and the information that Mr. Masilela has given us as young people. Hopefully, we're going to carry that with us as we journey on with our lives. Mr. Masilela, what advice would you give to young people in closing?
Okay, pertaining to sexual reproductive health and the like HIV/AIDS. I'll say there's what we call health literacy. Health literacy, it is having a responsibility now as a young person, noma as umuntu lo categorized youth. Let me pick up myself, and if I need information pertaining HIV prevention, if I need any information pertaining sexual reproductive health, let me go to someone I know and that I trust, information so that I know good information that I see or somebody has told me. And nowadays we've got what we call AI. AI, they retrieve information and correct. So let us make use of the internet. Let us make use of my healthcare practitioners to validate the information, and let us read. Let us read. Reading is very much important. See, for a post now in town talking about your health, your wellness. Read those. Take time to read those. If you see a word, love we are because there is jargon, medical jargon. So search about it and try to get my insights there and there so that you are informed. And I think on the medical part, I'll say sexual intercourse iba mnanzi na uyenda in esikhathini lesi-right nemuntu lo-right, which is umuntu omthembako, and yes, because it's embedded on spirituality, but I'm not going to talk about it more because people will be so. But kahle nawe yena nemlo right, lo correct futhi, and futhi ngesikhathi lesi right enzaweni futhi le kahle. Enzaweni le kahle, because wakhanga ukuthi uyenda enzaweni le ngase kahle and endlini bonayo condom, for example. Awusakhona ukusenda isicondom uthi if a condom is so sehlathini uyabona. And lokunye lengakusho ukuthi please let us make use of preventive services. We've got so many organizations in the country. We've got the Minister of Health, which is the mother body of all the organizations there. Take charge to go to those organizations. We are in my community. We because some people are willing to have lama services, but services they live in remote areas. So take charge. Sukumani, we've got MPs now. We've got mayors. We've got councillors. Suguma as a young person we need the services so and so, and we can talk the whole day. There's a lot that I can talk about. But I can say use a condom every time and whenever you go or wherever you go. Uye esikolweni, uye ekhaya, noma uthatha lahambo, uphuma outing, your hiker, noma you having lunch with your friends. Make sure ukuthi embhekanini wakho noma ekhikini lakho there is a condom with you. There's a condom with you because head aspects because you do not know what will happen where you are going. Ungazi ukuthi uyahamba uhlala nalerato, you hook up nalerato beka ex yakho. So so taking a condom will prevent you from getting unwanted pregnancies, sexual transmitted infections, and even the HIV.
Wow. I just say abstain. Don't do it. I'm joking. But guys, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. We have come to the end of today's episode. Please don't forget to follow all our social media platforms for more information about HIV prevention, circumcision, and other HIV-related topics. From me, Lirata Mavilisa, please consider yourself blessed and seen. Until next time.